just going to wait for this. It's going to be our first meetup for our book club reading You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor. And today's live broadcast, the Hangouts on Air, is going to go over the intros and chapter 1, Me and Money. Quiet. Is anyone there? Hello, Maria. We either have Valerie, Maria, or Sandra, if you're available. I'm just gonna wait till we have some people hopping on, and it's always the case when we do a first meetup. All right, is there someone on? If there's anyone that's now on the call, just let me know if you're having any troubles. This is always the case. We work out the kinks and everything when we first start this up. So we do. I do appreciate everybody's patience in doing this. So again, I'm just waiting for people to hop on. This is always the case when we do these. It's okay. Always working out the kinks, especially when it's always something new. And don't let that discourage you with whatever you do or proceeding forward. We will be going over the classic book by Bob Proctor, and it's entitled "You Were Born Rich." Okay. Now, a little bit about Bob Proctor, if you don't know who he is. He was one of the featured speakers in the movie that went viral all around the world 100,000 times over, called The Secret. That was a topical view of the law of attraction. And that exposed one of the fundamental universal laws to the world. And what that primarily did was, as every leader has known, as far back as you want to go, you become what you think about most. And that's what led me to him. I was already delving and writing personal development and formed my own ideas and philosophy about quite many topics. And when I saw this movie, it just exposed my mind. It put a nice bow on it, put a nice big ribbon on it, and it blew my mind. And I'm the type of person, when I find something that I enjoy, it really sets my soul on fire. My inner being was lit up. I had to dig more. Quite a few of the speakers and writers on that program I dug into more, and I instantly started following all of the works from Bob Proctor. And the more and more that I did, it just blew my mind. If you're here, if there's anyone here, say hello. No, we don't have, but I'm going to keep on going. And what that did to me, I found out that there was much more to me than I could ever realize. That I learned about, not just about the law of attraction, but of all of the universal laws. And you see, the law of attraction is actually a secondary law. And it's the primary law is the law of vibration. And we're going to learn, excuse me, we're going to learn a lot more about the law of vibration, the law of attraction, as this book, as this program develops in the coming weeks ahead. But hello, I see that there's a couple viewers. Anybody there? Say hello. Seem to have Seem to have some people on, and so we're going to keep rolling on through. I hear somebody. Let's see here. Okay. Now, if there's anybody on, one of the main things you do need a Google account. If you do have a Gmail or whatnot, you'll need that to join in on the discussion on here. So I wanted to keep going. We may have to reschedule this. It always does happen. When we first start this, we get all the kinks laid out, and then like anything new, it's scary, and we just have to keep going through it, and then until we become comfortable with it and know how to do it. So that's what we're going to do. If we need to reschedule, maybe a Saturday morning or afternoon, because I know we have a lot of the many different people on many different time zones. So this program is going to run us, this meetup, this book club is going to run a total of 10 weeks. We're going to pull apart each chapter every week. Today was to go over the intros and chapter 1, Me and Money, and also the workbook. You know, it's very, very important. This will give very rich meaning and greater depth to the material. And most of you, I do appreciate the ones trying to hop on, and I appreciate that very much so, more than you know. You've either know of me through Facebook or Instagram or any other social media outlet and brought you to this. And you may have been already a fan of Bob Proctor, or you have no idea who he is. As I was saying earlier, Bob Proctor was the featured speaker in the viral movie, The Secret, that exposed millions worldwide over one of the universal laws, the law of attraction. And that, as every leader, as far back as you want to go, knew that secret. And that secret was you become what you think about most. And the problem with that is, and this is a startling percentage that most of us don't think, that it is said that only 2% of us think, 3% think we're thinking, and the rest of the 95% would rather die than do any thinking. And we get confused between the two. We get confused with mental activity and thinking. Mental activity is when we're just going through our routines day after day that we really don't even have to think about. I have to get groceries. I got to go to work. Got to get my coffee, go to work, get my lunch. After work, go to the supermarket. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to come back home. I'm going to cook dinner for everyone. And now I'm just going to relax, watch Once Upon a Time, and then call it a night. And then day after day after day, we're living in what they call the Groundhog Day. It's just the same day, day after day. Now, we may have some different experiences along the way, and that is just by happenstance. But what we want to set up here is to use one of our mental faculties, and that is reason, and that involves thinking. And what this book is going to expose and challenge us to do is to find out where we are currently. And that's a really honest answer. You know, sometimes we tell white lies, even to ourselves, you know, to make ourselves feel better of our present condition. But, excuse me, but to know where to go, we must know where we are already. So we need to know where we are in order to know where we're going to go. So to expose where we are, you have to know where you are. But you also have to know, where do you really want to go? You know, we have dreams, we have aspirations, and that inner quiet voice sometimes rears its head. It jumps up, it speaks to us from time to time, and maybe we just quell it, maybe we just silence it. But we shouldn't silence it. This life is meant to have rich experiences, and that's what we're here for. We're here for rich life experiences. What this book is also going to expose to you is the unlimited wellspring of potential that you have inside each and every one of you. You know, we really should take this book and use it as a roadmap. If there's anything that you will to take seriously in your life right now, it is this book. I was so glad this was given to me, as I give it to you now. And all his programs, I've been a big fan of. I delve into his seminars, and this book changed my life. That's why I want to share it with you guys. And if there's anything serious in your life right now, a lot of people, they either read or they're readers or they don't read, and that's also what this meetup, what this book club is going to do. And that, you know, all you have required is to read a chapter a week. And as the beginning of the workbook is going to mention, you know, all that I ask everyone that's following along or watching now is to keep an open mind. The open mind is the receiving mind. And, you know, can you entertain a new idea? I don't want anyone here, despite what's currently going on, despite what has happened in the past, your present or past conditions, that wherever you are now, whether you have, you know, an educated background or not that much of an educational background, whether you are comfortable with the money that you have now or you're not, it doesn't matter. Wherever you are, you can live you want to live. Excuse me. And that it's going to require an open mind. Whether you have been a fan of Bob Proctor or not, some of you have gravitated towards this book, this program, or I, because you've heard me speak about the laws of attraction and all of the universal laws. And maybe it's going to be very new to you. And it was hard to grasp myself at first, but once you go over this day after day, week after week, repetition is the mother of all invention. And repetition is magical. Just as they said near the end of this chapter, Me and Money, reread the chapter. This book is not to just whip through fast and then you're done with it. This is to lay out step by step how to live the life that you want, because again, you have a wellspring of potential within you. And I want you to what I really loved about chapter 1 is that it's really stepping out and saying, right off the bat, something that we all may be uncomfortable talking about, and that's money. Now, some people may just say, well, money is not everything. And that's because we're letting ourselves off the hook. And it's not everything. But what money is going to do for you, the two highest things that money is going to do for you, it's used for two things. It's to make you comfortable, the way that you want to live, the lifestyle that you want to live. And two, it's to extend your service far beyond your own presence. Now, what that really means is whatever your passion is, whatever your service is, it is to enable you to replicate that service many times over. For instance, let's just take myself for example. If I was to get much more money, it is reinvesting in more cameras, different microphones, different, upgrade to a studio, hire social media workers in a whole team to spread the message of encouragement and hope, and to share more of the universal laws and our mind's higher faculties, to let people become aware, much more aware, of the potential that resides within them. And it doesn't matter what your passion is, what your service is, everyone needs it. And so that's what money would provide you, to be able to share that gift with thousands, millions of more people. So now, as the chapter went along, I don't know if anyone is able to chime in, say hello or whatnot. If they are, go right ahead. But we will fix this. We will reschedule so that we all can talk and meet. I know y'all are excited about it, and so am I. I'm just going to keep rolling along here for the time being. But the other aspect, excuse me, getting over a terrible cough here. The other aspect to get this chapter is wants you to be comfortable talking about money. And because it is a base point, it is something that all of us are, or most of us, are uncomfortable talking about. And all the ones that do have money are very comfortable. They're very comfortable about it. And it's not because they have a lot of it. It's just because they became comfortable with the idea of being able to earn it, being able to be worthy of it, and had a greater sense of that they can earn more. And they can earn more than they're currently settling for. We would all like a lot of money, but whatever your wage or whatever your average or whatever your income is, we think that's where it is. And that whatever the next tier is, I can never get that, or that's just out of reach. And what this program, what this book is going to expose to you, that whatever goal that you have, whatever your aspiration is, you can definitely reach that. And it's not just mumbo jumbo, or it's not just a positive lines that will pump you up. This is going to, if ingrained, if followed, especially with the workbook, you will be able to reach this. It will plant the seed in your mind. Now, again, the other aspect they want the chapter to grasp, for you to grasp, is that money is to be in circulation. That's what money is used for. So again, if you're providing a service and I'm hiring a team, and I'm, if I wanted to buy, HD cameras, I have to go to somebody who's providing that service, who sells HD cameras, and I'm going to pay him, and I keep the economy rolling along. It is not meant to be hoarded, because now it's out of circulation. Nothing is going on. And as the story of Mr. Chapman, he was really hoarding all his money away. And when he passed away and they found all of the money hidden all throughout his house, they couldn't believe it. And we've heard this story quite a few times. And as Job in the Bible, as the example in the book says, what we fear most will come to pass. So it's allowing you to know that whatever you are thinking about most is going to come. So what he was fearful, Mr. Chapman was fearful of most, was living the life. If he spent this money, he would live the life of a pauper. But what he actually did was live the life of a pauper. So it doesn't matter. He had the money, he just didn't use it. So we're to keep this in circulation. But it's also pointed out to make the footnote that it's not to be squandered away. We just don't willy-nilly spend it on whatever we want. Excuse me, I'm going to have some tea. Again, this cough. Now, again, that is why money is important. We want to also live the life and be comfortable and do it. So we don't want to worry. We want things paid off, but we don't want to think about debt. Even though you may say, Dave, how could I not? Every time that I go to the mailbox, I'm reminded of that every day. And what I suggest to you is you have to, when you get those, when the outside conditions want to chime in, what the book and Bob has pointed out in here, we want to get to a place where outside conditions are not making us feel the way we feel. We're not a meat puppet on strings. Whatever happens on the outside, if great things are happening, I feel great. If bad things are happening, I feel terrible. If it's bad economy, bad weather, argument or fight with a loved one, that should not affect how you're feeling. That should not affect your thinking and what your goal is in life. And it should not affect your prosperity consciousness. For whatever is in our consciousness is what is going to pass, what is going to come into our life. Now, doing this at first, it really takes a lot of, it's not a habit yet. And if you just started in my Living Out Louder mindset group on Facebook, and I've been going over paradigms, is thoughts and ideas or habits. And a lot of those habits were ingrained to us from someone else. What you currently believe about love, about money, about life, all of life's examples, you have formed that belief from watching the people around you growing up. As you're a toddler, you're not been conditioned yet. That's when we're conditioned. And that was a repetition of information. So our belief about money or earning money, or whether it's never having enough or never will have it, we were ingrained on how our parents handled it, their parents handled it. The habits and beliefs that we have been passed down from generation after generation. And when you hear that most of your beliefs, most of your habits don't even come from you. Now, as a toddler, we don't have, or as a baby, toddler, young person, we didn't have any choice. That was the repetition of information that we saw, that we witnessed, or being spoken to about. But now, as an adult, we do have that choice. We can change that paradigm. And how that is going to change is the same way that the old paradigm came through, and that's a repetition of new information. And that's how you're going to get a prosperity consciousness thinking. And I challenge everybody that's watching right now and to begin to do that right now, to begin, not when this chapter is over, not when this broadcast is over, not when the book is over, not on Monday, but right now. I want to challenge you to think that the abundance is all around you. Because our source of supply, when you get really right down to it, there is a never-ending source of supply. Money is, there is no ending to it. You can earn as much as you want. There is plenty of love out there. There is plenty of people out there, plenty of service that you can provide. There is plenty of everything to go around. Always. When it is a state of mind that you get into each and every day. Grateful that the sun is out, grateful for the people around you, grateful for the people that you can help, grateful for the honey that touches your lips. The abundance is never ending. There is a never ending source of supply. And when we don't really know how to earn money or get on the frequency, get on the vibration of providing service to others, It may be the very hardest thing to do, but once we get on this, as we go each week, as we progress through every chapter, more and more, everything is like the pieces of a puzzle, and it's going to just interlock to you, and it's going to open your mind. It is going to flip your lid, and you'll be able to really get a sense that, wow, it will give you more evidence to have a stronger prosperity consciousness. And, that what that's also going to mean is to prosper, to think of the good in life. Again, whether it is in relationships, your present conditions, to wealth. If you're going to think about debt, guess what's going to happen? You're going to keep getting debt. And so that's why it's essential. You need to know where you are now, and then is where you want to go. It is essential to where you want to go, because it's very vitally, we have mental faculties. We have a greatest power that is within us that we can tap into. Whether, I don't know what your beliefs are, and this has nothing to do with religion, but whether you want to call it God, whether you want to call it the divine intelligence, the one mind, the universal mind, the infinite intelligence. It doesn't matter if you want to call it Robert or Linda, but there is a force, a life force, a thought, cosmic waves that are coming to and through us. It is coming to and through you. And what you decide, whatever you think about most, is really going to come to pass. And, James Allen, he wrote the wonderful line in the classic, written over 100 years ago, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so he will be." Whatever we feel, whatever we think about, and we back with emotional strength, is going to manifest faster in our life. Whatever drum that you're beating each and every day for all to hear, that is what's going to come. There's two ends of a stick, you see, what we don't want and what we do want. And it's of the same thing. And you want to ask yourself right now, what drum are you beating right now? And so as we go along each week, I do want to thank you for your patience so far in watching this, and we will reschedule this so that we could all participate. And I do want to commend you for that. And I do also want to say the commitment to this will make it easier for everybody. It won't just be one person talking so much like I'm doing now, but I love to do that. That's my calling, and I can never shut up. But with that said, it's a support group as well. We're going to move along with this together, and it's going to be a journey. And I can guarantee at the end of this, you're going to be so grateful that you made it through the end of this 10 weeks. And as the chapter also was saying, okay, with our prosperity consciousness, even if you can't see something right now, that's, Socrates would say A is A and can be nothing else. A chair is a chair. And many people, if they gave you a prosperity exercise in the chapter. If you were to go into a room full of friends and announce of how much money you want to make, or that you're going to be, that's my puppy, it's thunder and lightning over here in Massachusetts. And so it's okay. And would you feel comfortable announcing that? And if you were to announce that, would you retract it and just say, I'm only kidding? And, you don't have to keep saying that to people. You want to feel comfortable. And you also want to share this, just like with us. This is going to be a support group as well. But the thing about faith, you see, many people will only say, well, I'll only believe it when I see it. And what this book is going to teach you is, if you believe it, you will see it. It has happened in my life many times over. As soon as I let it wash over me, a prosperity consciousness, as soon as I really started to believe, you can't fake your vibration. You see, belief can't be half worked. They kind of, the crutch of the law of attraction is ask, believe, and receive. And you need to know what to ask for, and I believe it will come, and then you will receive it. And then there was kind of a fake belief. And what that belief is, I found out that I was almost kind of fake believing it. That, it will come, but just not for me, or just not for anyone else. It'll come, but it's really never going to come for me. If that is your belief, it's never going to come. And the day that it finally washed over me, I remember, we spent about 4 months down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We had a condo on I believe the 4th or 5th story, ocean view, right on Myrtle Beach. And it was some of the most gorgeous sunrises I ever seen in my life. I'm a big fan of sunrises, sunsets, and at the time was heavy into taking pictures, photography, and I would be right on the balcony, and I love to get up early to say my gratitudes, my power questions, my morning mass for the day. And it was the most amazing sunrise that I ever saw in my life. Myrtle Beach, it is water. It is as far as the eye can see, and the colors illuminating off the water. Everything was perfect. It was as if spirit worked through me, and I finally understood. It is a feeling. It's a state of mind, and it's accepting the universal intelligence that is surrounding us at all times. That's what they say about energy. That's what they say about God. It's ever present at all times, at all things, and it's everywhere. That's what they say about energy. That's what they say about God, or the universal mind, or the divine intelligence. So you need to use your reasoning, use your imagination, one of the highest faculties of our mind, and it is to let that come over you. Because even though whatever the present conditions are, and it makes you want to think different, that's exactly what's holding you back and keeping you from living your desires It's keeping you from receiving all the good that you desire. And so I challenge all of you to do that, now. You want to automatically accept that what it is that you want is what you're going to get. My puppy is really scared about, he's a little chihuahua. His name's Sunny. And the thunder and lightning right now. And the poor thing howls even when the wind blows. So never mind the thunder and lightning. But I'm going to close this off now. Again, within our group, we're going to definitely reschedule so that we can interact with each other. I do want to thank you for all that joined and that are watching now. And the more, this will just serve as a repetition of having more of the ideas and the concepts that are laid out for you to seep into your mind, to seep in your conscious mind. And the aim is to have this all seep into your subconscious mind. And that is where the program lays, is in your subconscious mind. But if you haven't done so, in your workbook that I sent all of you, at the very end, they had about 9 questions for you to fill out. And, it's being honest as possible. It's not something that you have to share with us, but it is going over some of the important things of how much you earn now, per month, and so forth and so on. And what do you believe? And one of the most important questions that they ask is if you agree or disagree. George Bernard Shaw has been quoted as saying, "It is a sin to be poor." And that, do you agree or disagree with Shaw? Now, if we were saying, like we mentioned earlier, that one of the ways is by how much service we provide, and that how many people are we sharing that gift with. And if our compensation for that service, because that's how our economy works, I give you goods and services, and we trade that with money. So the worth, how much you're worth, is measured by how much service that you provide to others. So I want to leave that with you. I'll touch base with the rest of you. Thank you again. It's always, when it's always something new, we work out the kinks and all that. So I want to say have a rest of the good night to the rest of you. Thank you again. Excuse me. Thank you again. And we're going to keep moving forward with this. We'll reschedule maybe a Saturday morning / afternoon. So we're not running anywhere and have to be anywhere, no pressure. I know nobody ever wants to do it on a Friday night. So again, I'm going to bid you a good night. And thank you very much again for joining me tonight. And until I talk to you, have a good night and God bless.